Hello, testing. Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of us with your coach Promit from this side. So in today's episode, we'll be diving down into understanding the differences between men and women in terms of their training inside the gym, and whether at all from a physiological standpoint, should there be any difference at all. So without further delay guys, let's dive down straight into the nuances of the topic. So in order to make the video a lot more simpler guys, I'll be breaking the video down into 5 different subsets. So the first being the differences in body composition between men and women. Second up, followed by the differences in hormones between men and women. Followed up by potency to hypertrophy. How receptive are men as compared to women in terms of gaining muscle. Fourth point are other physiological and biological factors that might influence training. And last but not the least, an entire conclusion to the whole picture. So let us dive down into the very first point, that is the differences in body composition between men and women. So it has been found consistently throughout a lot of studies that women indeed start off with a smaller structure as compared to men, and they also have 2/3 of the muscle mass of that of an average man. So here they are starting off, like I said, inherently with a comparatively weaker or smaller or more compact structure to begin with. And that is further facilitated by the fact that women also has a lot more proportional distribution of type 1 muscle fiber. This is also added by the fact that women can store up to 2 times body fat as compared to the average men. These will come into play when we discuss the conclusion of the video, so keep these in mind. Moving on from there, next comes the hormonal differences. So as you guys know that men in general has approximately 9 to 10 times more testosterone flowing in their body as compared to a woman for obvious reasons. So this also affects the way their body responds to training, which we will definitely be getting into when we discuss the conclusion of this video.
I'm like getting the feeling of coming in the gym, I'm getting the feeling of coming at home, I'm getting the feeling of coming backstage when I pump up, when I pose out in front of 5,000 people, I get the same feeling. So I'm coming day and night.
So next up comes the potency to hypertrophy, or how well or how receptive is one's body to gaining muscle mass. So it has been seen on a lot of studies that men indeed build a lot more absolute muscle mass as compared to a woman. But similarly, a lot more conflicting studies has found that when it comes to relative comparison, that is when it comes to the relative potency to hypertrophy in women, women are no less prone to building muscle mass than that of the average man. So here comes in the question that whether women respond the exact same way as men would when it comes to lifting weights. Moving on from there, the other physiological and biological factors that comes into play in the long-term aspect of things is the menstrual cycle of women. So as you guys know that women go through a menstrual cycle every month, which does affect their hormonal levels inside their body, their energy levels, as well as how they respond to training. So this, in the grand scheme of things, does play an important role. So having cleared this off, let's dive down into the conclusion and let's understand how each of these separate factors might play a role in the differences between training of a man and a woman. So starting off with the body composition, like I said, women start off with a much compact structure with comparatively lesser muscle mass than that of the average man. So inherently, men can build theoretically much more muscle mass than women. However, like I said, when you're discussing about strength, it has been found interestingly that if you compare a man and a woman with similar muscle mass and similar structure, there has been very less differences in strength to start off with. So for all the women who thinks that they will have more difficulty in gaining strength, that's a complete misconception, whereas a lot of studies has indeed pointed out that women can gain a lot more relative strength much faster as compared to men. So the link of those studies are down below if you want to have a personal look at them. The next factor that comes into play is the type 1 and type 2 muscle fibers. So type 1 muscle fibers, which are more present in women, are slow acting muscle fibers, are most better suited for endurance activities than outright explosive activities. Whereas type 2 muscle fibers are those muscle fibers that are suited for very explosive and very powerful activities, but they get fatigued very easily. So you can say that women fatigue a lot less compared to men when doing a high repetition task. So maybe from that standpoint, women, when given a high repetition workout, a higher intensity workout, might fare a lot better as compared to men. Now this factor, along with the hormonal factor that women have a lot more estrogen in the body, which also means they have a lot more of the hormone called estradiol, which actually helps them a lot better in recovery from a particular training protocol. So in a truest sense, When it comes to the hormonal differences, although testosterone is a very good anabolic hormone, but estradiol on the other hand helps women to recover much faster. So that also plays a role when you're comparing similar protocols of men and women. So next up, we are moving on to the potency to hypertrophy. Practically means the ability of women to build muscle as compared to men. The differences between men and women when terms of relative muscle gain is as low as 0.97% to 1% at most. That also in the upper body. So that is the main difference between the potency to hypertrophy when it comes to men and women. But like I said, when women are inherently starting off with a smaller structure and more compact structure, there is very less chance that a woman will become bulky and huge when they lift. So please get this out of the mind that lifting makes women bulkier. It does not happen that way until and unless you're under the influence of steroids or you are specifically doing a program to incorporate hypertrophy in your routine. If you're not specifically chasing muscle gain, chances are your body won't become She-Hulk in a matter of days. So get that out of your mind. So moving on from there, like I said, another important factor we have to consider is the menstrual cycle, which does affect women on a monthly basis. So here we have to understand that the energy levels and the hormonal levels goes for a toss in and around those days. So definitely training might not be optimal, but then again, if the overall total volume is adjusted for in the grand scheme of things, that should not be that big of a problem in the long run. However, it is something that should be considered by trainers and by individuals who train on a regular basis. So it's not necessary that you have to push through that pain and through that confusion and dilemma and give your all. So definitely you can give yourself some rest, some much needed break during those days, and again come back with full force in the following few days after you feel fine. Having cleared the entire picture, it can be understood that from a physiological standpoint, from an anatomical standpoint, there is very little differences between a man and a woman and the training protocol that they should be following. This entire thing boils down to what their individual goals are. And if you're someone who again wants to lose weight, like I said 1,000 times, the best thing to do is get in a net caloric deficit. Secondly, like I cleared, if you're a man or a woman who is looking forward to gain lean muscle mass, you should lift, period. There's no better way to gain muscle mass than lifting weights. Like we found out in the discussions that women are much better suited to high repetition training as compared to men. So that does not mean you will see things in black and white. Obviously, men also should incorporate high repetition movements in their workout, as well as women should also incorporate strength training movements, which includes 1 repetition maxes, 5x5s, etc. in their training protocols to get the best of both worlds. Inherently, biologically, although women start off with a different body composition, but from an absolute standpoint, you can reach a goal of well-defined and toned physique even if you lift as well as do your cardio. So don't necessarily prefer Zumba, cardio or light activities over lifting, because lifting significantly does have a very big impact on your overall well-being and health and also fitness. So in a one sentence conclusion guys, should men and women be training differently? The answer is absolutely not. There is no conclusive evidence to suggest that men and women should have completely separate protocols for their goals. It's as simple as that, because from an anatomical standpoint, they are kind of the same, and sex should not be the ultimate determinant of which type of training protocol you're following. For all those programs out there that does discriminate between sex, it's purely for marketing gimmick and nothing else, nothing productive at least. So I really hope this video helped you get a lot more insight into this topic, and hoping that you found some value in it. And if you did, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to our channel. That will mean a lot to us. So having said that guys, this is your coach Promit Shom signing off for the week. See you all again next week with another cool video.